Alright, so I recorded this video a little bit different this week because I came across these ideas in a particularly weird order and I didn't want them to forget them. So all the clipping in and out, you can just get used to that because there's going to be a little bit of it in this video. I'm just going to touch on today's playoff games because I want to keep it short, and that'll give me something to talk about tomorrow. I can release a video talking about these games and predicting my picks for the next ones. So look for 2 videos this weekend, and I'm really excited about these playoffs. Just so everybody knows, my team is not playing until next week. I am a Falcons fan, and personally I cannot wait for them to hit the field. I just can't wait. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm just going to talk about the wild card teams today and tomorrow. A lot of people had a couple things to say about my last NFL predictions videos. I left stuff out and whatnot. Like I said, it wasn't the actual video. As I said at the beginning of that discussion, you know, that I would soon touch base on what would happen in the NFL. You have to keep up with the subtleties of my language. So it's Saturday, and tonight is 2 of the wild card playoff games, and one of them is in Indianapolis, Colts and the Jets. I strongly believe that the Colts will win this game. They've got more experience, better coaching, much better quarterback who has a greater grasp for the game and the playoffs than Mark Sanchez, and just overall better team. Their defense is lacking as usual, but we've all seen the Colts do a hell of a lot more with a hell of a lot less. So I expect big things from them in this game. Maybe not a blowout, but I'm looking for them to at least win by 11 points. So we'll call it 24-13 Colts. Points to consider. Mark Sanchez really... Well, he's a young quarterback, but he's really has not been so great so far. Okay, he's thrown more interceptions than touchdowns. His career quarterback rating is 70, which is lower than Michael Vick's. And you know, he's terrible against the AFC. He's terrible on turf. He's got one thing going for him, and that's that he's got decent stats indoors for the season, but that's only because he played one indoor game against Detroit, which they needed overtime to win. They needed overtime to win the next game in Cleveland. That's pretty much an upset. I mean, I know the Jets are, you know, Cinderella and everything, but like I said before, I believe in the football god. And Rex Ryan has talked way too much shit to get any good karma from the football god this season. Points to consider about the Colts. Peyton Manning's not done winning. I guarantee you that, but he's getting pretty close to the end of his career, so do the math. The man's out for blood this season. He's going to want another ring. He's way better in the playoffs than Mark Sanchez could ever be, or dream of being, or end up being in his career. He'll never equal the likes of Peyton Manning. I mean, I know there's a lot of Mark Sanchez fans, and that's great. I'm sure he'll be an awesome next Brian Greasy, but not Peyton Manning. Sorry, not going to happen. And besides, well, Peyton Manning has been studying his opponent. Rex Ryan has most likely been chewing his fingernails over the Patriots, which they lost 45-3. I don't know if you remember that. And talking shit about Peyton Manning. So, yeah, all those things never really bode well. I mean, just think of every movie you've ever seen or every story you've ever heard told. Doesn't the guy that's distracted with stupid fucked up things usually lose? The other game tonight is New Orleans and Seattle, which is in Quest Field. How does that happen? How do you get home field advantage in the wild card playoffs when you're 7-9, the first team in the NFL to ever win a division title with a fucking losing record? But how do they get home field advantage? Which, don't get me wrong, I hate the Saints, and for this game to be in the Superdome would be completely terrible because it's pretty awesome, actually. The Saints have to go to Seattle. This will be their 3rd game in 12 days, and there's a chance that the weather could suck, but there's also a really good chance that the Seahawks could suck. So unless they get that swing pass working, I don't see much working there. I've got the Saints in that one easily, 35-10, at least. Pains me to say that. I hope they lose, but I don't think they will. Points to consider: Sean Payton has experience coaching in the playoffs. He's a good coach, just very down to earth, like-minded. People relate to him well. And Pete Carroll is also a great coach. I'm not taking anything away from him. I hate USC and everything they stand for, but Pete Carroll is still a good coach. I really think coaching and lack of talent for the Seahawks is definitely gonna lose them the game. I think Pete Carroll's first time in the playoffs is actually pretty awesome that he made it here with such a bad team and everything, because he kind of gets over that loop, over that over that rung early in his NFL coaching career. At least he made it to the playoffs this year, so good for him. Good for him. Points to consider for the Seahawks: it's the 12th man. It's one of the best home field advantages in the league, and I don't know what the weather is going to be in Seattle today, but I can't imagine it's going to be fucking peaches and cream. It rains there constantly, and it's winter to boot. I'm sure that it's fucking shitty there. Sleet, freezing rain, whatever it will be. Windy, miserable outside game. Not going to be good. So I think they got that going for him. Another thing they got going for him is Matt Hasselbeck. He gets those passes out quick. I mean, he's old. He's definitely not what he used to be, but he gets passed out quick. So if they can get him working on some swing passes, maybe they can run one to the bank a few times and get a win. But I don't see it happening. So that's it, guys. I know the layout was weird and the editing sucked, but hey, we're just talking about football. It's not like I'm submitting this as a Sundance Festival. If it was, I'm sure I would have gotten a haircut, taken my hat off, and shaved. Anyway, you guys have a great night. I hope you enjoy the games if you're planning on watching them. If not, you're fucking boring. What the fuck? Stop watching my video about football if you're not going to watch the game. You got no life.